Joe, I know what you're here for. Let's get to that sports talk, baby. And y'all see the title. Y'all see what's going on. We have some good Monday night football. The Broncos, they get off with a dub. A lot going on in this one. Jameis Winston, he played really good and he played really bad at the same time. He plays great and really bad at the same time. He's the only player in the world that I know could do something like this, put up 497 yards, 4 touchdown passes, but 3 interceptions, 2 of them going back for a pick six, over 171 yards in interception yards.
Yeah, you seem to make a big deal out of the one bad play that. So Bo Nix throws one bad pick in your Instagram, you go crazy. But James Winston had 3 pick sixes.
Hey, he had 2 interceptions. He didn't play that well. He didn't play that well. The Broncos had 2 pick sixes, and the reason why this score wasn't like it was that good. And his running back and he got the weird last name. It's like
Marvin Mims.
McGlenglin or something like that. 14 carries, 84 yards. He kind of went off in this one. Mims did a good job, but I'm not going to throw Bo Nix all the way under the bus, but he played all right. The team hadn't been in the playoffs since winning the Super Bowl in 2015. We remember that year. Von Miller and those guys were one of the best defenses in the league. So since that year, the Broncos have finally found their guy, Sean Payton. We got to give a lot of credit to him because a lot of things went down between him and Russell Wilson last year, and we got to give him a lot of credit. We give Sean Payton a lot of bad rep, but we don't give him a lot of credit when his team does do well, and his team did well in this game. Very important win. They head into the bye week, 8-5 now going into the bye week. So they look like they want to make this playoff push, and they look like they might do a lot of things coming down the stretch. Like I said, Jameis Winston, you know what I'm saying? He's one of those guys, bro, that you can't understand him. He's one of those guys you don't understand. Like, you go for 30 touchdowns. Remember with the Buccaneers, go 30 touchdowns, 33 or something like that, and you go 30 interceptions. Like, bro, you feel like he should be working on this, but that's just him. That's Jameis Winston trying to make a lot of plays. But when you have a guy that's going for almost 60 attempts in passing, and you know he's the type of guy that can turn over the ball, come on, bro. You know he's going to eventually turn it over. Maybe the game calls for him to turn over the ball or whatnot, because 60 passes is a lot of passes. That's a lot of passing attempts for a guy who you know that turns over the ball a lot. Ford and Nick Chubb really didn't do a lot in this game because the attempts were so high. But shout out to Jared Jeudy coming back to his town that drafted him, and he got a lot of boos, bro. A lot of boos to Jared Jeudy. But like he said in the press conference, when it comes with a lot of boos, it's a lot of catches being made, and they missed him in the first half in a deep ball. He almost went for 300 if he hit him in the first half with a deep ball. He goes for 235 yards in this game, nine receptions and a touchdown. He played really well in this game back, but you took the loss, and he breaks a record, the most yards from a guy going against his former team. Breaking Randy Moss's record. I think Randy was like 131. He destroyed that 200 yards. So how do you feel about Bo Nix and his rookie of the year campaign? Do you think he can get this?
He's the most experienced quarterback out of college of all of them, and it's actually not close. He has the most starts in college history with 61. The thing for him, you can see the experience in the NFL, and that's why I think he'll be good long-term, because you can see the 61 starts. You can see the experience. But I also do think before last week, he was plus 600 to win it. He's now plus 100, so he's creeping up there. He had no chance a week and a half ago. He's creeping up there every week. His college experience, you can't teach the experience he had. He has the most college starts in history. And that means something. There's a reason you and I didn't believe in Caleb. We thought, and you and I even said this, more so me, but I think you eventually came around to agree with me, Dino. I thought he needed another year in college. That was me. I don't know where you stood, but I knew he needed another year. At least that's what I thought.
For you talking about for Caleb? Yeah, Jaden Daniels had a lot of starts too. Bo Nix has definitely has the most starts, but he played decent in this game. A lot of people gonna be like, yeah, that's rookie of the year now. He played great. He balled out. They won this game. They put up 42 points. But you got to give some credit to the defense getting 2 pick sixes. Like I said, Jameis Winston, he could get the ball, play a really good game for his team and for the other team. We seen the first, they had to lead 31-32 at a certain point, and then Jaquan McMillan returned an interception, 44 yards with 1 minute and 48 seconds remaining. He throws another tick to Nick Bonito, intercepted Winston and took it back 71 yards to the house in the second quarter. 171 yards through interception yards. Like I say, I think Jaden Daniels is still the front runner for offensive rookie of the year. Bo Nix is a very close second for me. You can make the argument that Bo could be in first. You can make the argument that Jaden Daniels could be first. But it's a lot of rookie records being broken by Jaden Daniels, and Bo Nix is coming right after that. Like I said, it's gonna come down to the last after the bye week because the Broncos, they got a bye week, and the Commanders, they also got a bye week as well. So you got to put all that into consideration in the last 4 games. So who knows, bro? He might could get the offensive rookie of the year. Y'all tell me in the chat if Jaden Daniels is still the front runner. With Bo Nix, is it very close? Is it a huge gap? We want y'all feedback. We always want y'all feedback. So, hey, look, put your comment in the comment section. We always respond to any comments that are posted up in the comment section. And if you comment in the comment section after the video, I appreciate you if you still do. How do you feel about Jameis Winston? I still think you move on from Deshaun Watson. If you start Jameis Winston at the beginning of the year, you probably get better results from your team anyways. I think he's still a really decent. I think he's still a decent quarterback for them.
I'll put it like
not
this.
A lot of quarterbacks.
The team. I'll put it like this. The team. I think the team all believe Deshaun's better, but he hasn't shown he's better.
Yeah, and I looked up a stat: 171 yards from Jameis Winston, interception yards. 3 games total with 171 yards for Deshaun Watson. Like, I think in total in 3 games, like that shit's kind of crazy. But you can go for 500, almost 500 yards, but you can still, because if you tell me if Jameis Winston is going for 500 yards and 4 TDs, you got it, and then you see the 3 interceptions and 2 pick sixes, you got to know that's Jameis Winston. Like, if I read you those stats, bro, you go through for 500 yards, 4 TDs, 3 interceptions, 2 picks. What player do you think that is? If I don't even show you with him on the screen, you gonna say, bro, that's Jameis Winston. We seen it with the Buccaneers. We seen it. That's why he's not a starter.
I would have thought like Mahomes or like Josh Allen or something like that.
That's the reason why Jameis Winston is just not a legit starter in the league, because he just turns over the ball a lot. He got a lot of credit. He won in the snow in Cleveland. Beat the Steelers. So I'll give him his credit when his credit is due. But you got to also go with the bad when he plays bad too. You just got to talk about it, and that's what we're talking about here. Like I said, I think Jameis Winston did play better than Bo Nix, but the 2 pick sixes really derailed him. If Bo Nix threw 2 interceptions and 2 of them went back for pick sixes, then he would kind of have like I said, the 2 picks kind of derail him. So maybe, Bo maybe had the better game, but I think the defenses carried the Broncos a little bit. a lot of big shots, big throws thrown for Bo Nix down the field. He definitely looked nice at certain points in the game, and I give his respect where his respect is due. Offensive Rookie of the Year, yes, he's up there, but I'm not giving him the hand over Jaden Daniels. Not yet. Not
I will put it
yet,
like
Chad.
this: the 500 yards is impressive.
Not yet, Chad.
The 500 yards is impressive. 4 TDs is impressive, but the 3 picks, you just can't overlook that. At least that's me. I don't know about you. Yeah, he played great, but we can't overlook 3 interceptions. I can't. I might be different. I just can't overlook it. You can have your opinion, Dino, but I can't overlook that. And 2 went to the house.
Yeah, you can't. You definitely can't overlook the 3 interceptions. Hey, 8-5, Broncos move on. Can they make a serious push, a playoff push? What do you think? Are they a first round get up out of there type of team? Can they flop at the end? You tell me how the future is going to go for the Broncos.
I think Bo Nix, I've said this with the kid, I think he can win a championship in this league. I believe it. He's good enough. He's big enough. Arm talent's there. I think they can make a second round depending on who their first round is.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too.
I'll put it like this: everything we thought Caleb would be, not you and me, but the other people in general. Everything that the fans thought Caleb would be, Bo Nix and JD are.
Yeah.
And to a lesser extent, Drake May, because he hasn't played as long as those guys.
And these teams are kind of the same teams. You're really not expecting for both of them teams to really do much of anything with the Commanders and the Broncos. Who really thought the Broncos this year were going to be anything? We thought this team was going to be the worst team in the NFL, in the league going forward.
Extent, yeah, even to a lesser extent, Drake May, because he hasn't played as long. He's playing better than Caleb. Yeah. He just is.
Yeah, and I feel like, as like I said, in the comparison of the Commanders and the Broncos, they're kind of the same team, bro. The Commanders, we wasn't expecting to do anything either. We got a rookie quarterback. We're picking that second overall. The Broncos, they move on from Russell Wilson. They sign Zach Wilson. They get a rookie in Bo Nix. That's not a for sure thing. And he comes in, and him and Sean Payton are on the same page. And he's looking very good. And the Broncos are looking good going into their bye week. And I think they can make a serious push and surprise some people coming down the stretch. Like I said, Sean Payton's done a very good job. Even when they made the decision to move on from Russ, they got a little backlash on that, and now he's got his team in a firm position. And I think they're the 6th seed. Don't quote me on this. They're either the 6th or 7th seed heading into the playoffs. So y'all tell me. Jameis Winston again, 497 yards, 3 interceptions. 2 of them went back to the house. 4 touchdown passes. Jerry Jeudy. He comes back to his hometown, Mile High. Most receptions in throughout all the receivers, so he's leading the league in receiving yards since Jameis Winston has became the starter. Yes, Jameis Winston, I think, is a better quarterback right now than Deshaun Watson. I don't know how you go back to Deshaun Watson. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't think they're going to be able to pay a quarterback extensive amount of money, because you already spent guaranteed amount of money on this quarterback that's not playing for you right now. So you either got to re-sign Jameis Winston, you got to give him some money. Aaron Rodgers is looking to play somewhere else. Maybe you pick up Aaron Rodgers. Justin Fields, he's sitting on the bench. It's a lot of decent quarterbacks out there that you could pay a low tier amount of money and still get better results than Deshaun Watson has given you, because I don't think you give that guy another shot after all this stuff that's going on.
With Cap, you can't just move him.
Yeah, you Who knows? Like I said, cap space was a problem with Russell Wilson.
Are
They
they
moved
gonna?
on from Russell
Here's the
Wilson.
thing, though. Are the Browns willing to eat that? I don't know if they are.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know if they try to take another
I think
shot
they.
with
I'm with you. They should, but will they?
Yeah, I'm really not sure, but like I said, not a really good game for Jameis in this one, as in the turnover battle. Literally, what can you do when you throw two interceptions, pick sixes? He tried to make up for the first one, to come back, they take the lead. His defense, for somewhat, they just can't get the ball turned over at like the Broncos did. Yes, they got two interceptions. They couldn't come back to the house, but Jameis Winston, you gotta cut some people some slack. You gotta try to not put the ball in harm's way, and he just does. He puts the ball in harm's way, and and that's the franchise record. He gets the franchise record in total TDs and passing yards. So respect out to respect is due, but it was a pretty good game. I think that was the best game on Monday Night Football. You tell me, Vince. I think
I agree. I'm
that
with
was the
you.
best game of the year because
I'm with
it
you.
was a lot of stuff going on. We had running backs playing well, Mims, big play down the field, Bo Nix deep ball. Then after that, right back to back, you had Jameis Winston. He throws a deep ball to Jerry Jeudy. Bomb, touchdown, right there back in it. It was a back and forth game. It definitely was lit down there. They had the chance going, fans going crazy. I definitely plan on taking a trip to Mile High and actually getting the experience like that because it looked very good. Like I said, it was a lot of turnovers in this one. It was a lot of yards gained in this one, and that's what we want to see on prime time. Even though, because a lot of people don't want to see defensive games, but a lot of people want to see offensive games for real, for real. So that was a good one there. Uh, but moving on, don't quote me on this name. This guy has a weird name. I'm not even gonna cap you.
Aziz Al Shahir.
Aziz Al Shahir. You hear my guy Vance? For some
He needs to
reason,
play for the
he
Niners.
now is suspended 3 games. Suspended three
I
games
called it.
now. You called it suspended 3 games. If you checked out the last live stream, we talked about how many games that we think this guy would get suspended. Do you think it was this egregious? Do you think the suspension was too much? Should have been 1 game, should have been 2 games. Is 3 games too much? And should Trevor Lawrence think about returning back to football or just quitting it for the season? I know we talked about it a little bit last stream, but we got to talk about it more because he now has officially gotten suspended 3 games. Do you think that was too much? Was 3 games too much, Vance? Even though you called it.
Too much, yes. The NFL is soft, so I had a feeling it would be. Yes, it's too much, but the NFL is going to do what the NFL does. But that's why I said 3 because it shouldn't be 3, but knowing Roger Goodell, it was going to be 3.
Yeah, he took a pretty bad hit.
Too much though.
Yeah, I think 3 games is a little bit too much. Maybe a game or 2, but the thing is, you kind of gotta because
you gotta have 1 at least.
Because you kind of gotta offset the penalty or offset the what's going on because you got one guy here in Trevor Lawrence that's going to be out for extensive amount of weeks. He's going to be out for maybe the rest of the season.
They said rest of the season.
So how does a guy take a dirty hit on a guy? He's out for the rest of the season, and this guy gets to play almost all his games. So I get why they gave him 3. Because this guy's going to be out for the rest of the year while this guy who did the dirty hit gets to play more games than the guy that's going to be hurt. So you got to kind of put him out, sideline him for a little bit. I think it was a pretty dirty hit. You see him start to slide. You see him start to give himself up. Forearm comes straight to the forearm comes straight to the head and neck area. And then, boom, you see him come.
Say it again. Repeat the question because you cut out there.
Yo. All right, we back.
Yeah, I can hear
But
you.
yeah, to kind of talk to the chat as I'm trying to get my camera
I
up
will
here.
say the thing from the one thing I disagree with Dino on, I said yesterday, I wouldn't say dirty, I would say illegal hit, because that you can't call it targeting. People want to say that, and I get it. It didn't look good, but it's more hand to the face than anything. Like it was forearm to the head, because it wasn't helmet to helmet. You can't call targeting. I'm with Dino. You can't. Trevor Lawrence is probably done for the year, and it's terrible that he is. But I think the Jags can have an internal look inward now and say, hey, we paid Trevor all this money. What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Because he was not. Because we talked about it yesterday.
it.
He was not good this year. I mean, that's not me being rude. He was not good this year.
Yeah. He really like I said, you can't really. You got to suspend him. You got to suspend him because they're trying to take away that play. They're trying to take away the head and neck area hits. They're trying to take away some of those bad plays out of the league. So you kind of gotta suspend him there. But 3 games, I think, is a little bit too egregious, a little bit too much, maybe, chat. But I'm not sure. It was a cheap shot. I hate when you guys do shit like that. Alex Smith. Hey, shout out Alex Smith putting his comment in the comment section. It was a cheap shot, bro. I ain't nobody questioning that. I think it was the dirty hit, and you got the brace on. Like, what you doing? You got the brace on. You come to the head and neck area, and his head kind of whips to the ground. I think the head whips to the ground, to the back of the head, kind of took him out right there.
That's what did it. That's the problem, is the head and the sudden stop and the whiplash. That's what did it for me, at least.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm with you. That's what the sudden stop is what does it. Absolutely, I'm with you.
Sorry, my camera keep cutting out. Hey, I'm gonna leave out. Keep talking to the chat. I'm gonna jump back in because my virtual background not working. Yeah. But
where do you? Okay.
Is it time to hang up the season for the Jags? I know they're already eliminated. Trevor Lawrence has to play better. Kind of talk to the chat how he should, what they got to add to the team, what they should do for the team, and what they should do going forward. I'll be right back.
I think the thing for me, the Jags, it's a tough one because the Jags, as much as I like the Jags, and when Trevor Lawrence is good, this is a playoff team. We've seen that. For me, what do they need to add? They've added receivers, added Brian Thomas Jr. The one thing I'm struggling with, Dino, is what do they need to add? Because again, when Trevor's good, they're a playoff team. With what to
they should try to go for Travis Hunter, bro. They really should try to go for Travis Hunter.
I don't think they'll get him though, unless they have the first pick.
Yeah, who knows? But definitely took a dirty hit. He definitely should have been suspended for a couple games. I don't know about 3 games, maybe 1 or 2. But hey, look, they trying to take those type of plays out the league. Y'all tell me if the suspension was too much. But we're not gonna spend too much time on this topic because we gotta get into a lot of stuff. Next, tough or rough on Rob Gronkowski versus Shaq. Do you want to see a type of battle like this, fighting going forward? You want NFL players to fight NBA players. How do y'all feel about that coming forward? I think it's in the talks. Rob Gronkowski says he wants $12 million minimum to box Shaq. Do you even want to see this matchup? I'm so tired of it. After the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight, we really didn't get that was so hyped up to the point where we thought we was gonna get something. Yeah, we did not get what we thought we was gonna get. So with Shaq and Gronk are trying to do, they're trying to pull off a move to get money because they see how much money Mike Tyson got.
I can't imagine either of them need money.
Yeah, but they want more. You even though you don't need money, doesn't mean you're trying to get more money. You feel me?
True.
You try to get some more money. So y'all tell me, y'all want to see Shaq and Gronk fight?
I think it wouldn't be worth it, really.
I don't think I'll after the Jake Paul fight, after the Mike Tyson fight, I'm kind of done with these kind of gigs. We need boxing to be boxing again. These little circus fights shouldn't be as big as they should be. The sport of boxing is starting to be a disaster.
Make boxing great again.
Yeah, I just want boxing to be boxing again. Right now, it's a bunch of circus fights. We got Jake Paul, and y'all might have heard I Show Speed says he can knock out Jake Paul, and they might fight. Tell me, do y'all want to see streamers fight, YouTubers fight? Y'all want to see NFL players versus NBA players? Are y'all interested in these type of high profile guys fighting on Netflix?
See Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, we want to see actual fights.
I want to know how to fight.
I love Shaq. I love Gronk. These guys are entertaining. They were entertaining, most definitely entertaining playing basketball and him playing football. The greatest players of all time. Their name will bring some money. They will bring cachet, and the way they will promote it will definitely bring a lot of money going forward. But do I want to see it? Y'all tell me in the chat, tough or rough? Y'all, is this tough? Y'all want to see them fight, or is it rough? I don't want to see them fight at all. And to me, I don't want to see these guys fight. I'm actually good because we haven't been getting the fights we need. Even with Mayweather and Logan Paul, that shit was terrible. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, and all his fighters he's been fighting. We got Nate Robinson. We got all these type of guys. Come here, 3. 3 want to say something. 3 want to say something in the chat. What you gotta say? What you gotta say in the chat? Say no. We don't want to see Jake Paul. We don't want to see him no more. We don't want to see Gronkowski's. We want to see Gronkowski. And 3 has joined the chat. But you tell me, Vance, you good on the Shaq thing? You good on the Gronk thing? Are y'all good in the chat? I think I'm good.
Because I know you said it, but I think even anybody with half a brain knows this. What are we really getting?
Yes. Are we going to get a knockout? Are we going to get a good fight? What are we actually going to get here going forward? We don't know what we're going to get. We honestly don't know what we're going to get. Let's be real. And I don't think we're going to get a good fight out of them. Let's be real. I don't think we're going to get a good fight. Shaq is still 7 foot tall. Probably has no movement. Gronkowski, he might try to slam him in the ring. So we're not even going to get regulations. 3's on his way out. He said, I'm good. He's going to watch his Miss Rachel. But shout out to 3 in the chat. Next topic. Will Mike Evans reach 1,000 yards? He's at 521 right now. 9 games played. His next matchups are Raiders, Chargers, Cowboys, Panthers, and Saints. He has 10 straight 1,000-yard seasons. The record for Jerry Rice is 11 straight seasons with 1,000 yards. Will he get that? Vance.
Now, if he didn't get hurt, I'd say yes, but I want to believe he can because he's a hell of a receiver. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's no doubt in my mind. He's an all-time
for sure.
Did he get it? Because he's only played 9 games and they're on week 14, week 15. Man, I don't know.
Yeah, and that there goes the stats right here. I got up on screen for y'all who don't know. He needs 479. He has 5 games left. The Raiders he can cook up. The Chargers, I don't know. The Panthers he can cook up. Cowboys he can cook up, even though they played well against us or whatnot.
Chargers have a good. The only one I don't know is the Chargers because they have a really good defense.
And what do you need, like 120 a game, 110, something like that? I mean, maybe not even that.
120 a game would get him 600. 100 a game would get him 500.
All right, 100 a game. I know Baker's going to do much of everything to try to get him the ball. He was getting it a lot at the start of the season. And I would like to see him tie up Jerry Rice's record, even though Jerry Rice is the greatest of all time. We all know this, Vince. You know, you're a Niners guy. Those are kind of records that, yeah. Records are meant to be broken, and I would like to see him break a record. Saquon Barkley, he's on pace to break Eric Dickerson's record. Derrick Henry as well. So, records are meant to be broken. He has a lot of games. He has 5 games left. He needs 95.8 yards per game to reach that 1,000 yards. Y'all tell me in the chat, will Mike Evans get it? Like I said, Jerry Rice's record is 11. And Mike Evans is a great player, bro. And he's definitely sustainable, definitely a reliable player, definitely a great player that I would love to have on my team. And injuries. The injury bug has gotten to him, hamstring. That's kind of a thing that you want to push him a little. You don't want to be too much on Mike. You don't want to put too much on a guy and then he gets injured again. I don't know what type of role they're going to put him in getting him the football, but you would want to think they want to give him 11 straight. And he's the type of guy you want to give 11 straight to. Y'all tell me, y'all want him to get 1,000. He's definitely a type of player that can get 1,000, and at no point in time I'm ever questioning that he can't get that. Only 95 yards a game. I think he can get that. I think you can get him the ball enough times to get him 95 yards a game, and it don't even got to be 95 yards a game. He could get, say he got 80 this game, but he gets 150 in another game. I think he would torch Carolina, and he will probably torch the Raiders and maybe the Cowboys or the Saints at the back end. He's going to torch one of those teams and go for 150 to 200. So I think he can still get it. Next topic, Kirk Cousins. Should the Falcons think about benching Kirk Cousins after his bad performance?
I will put it like
last
this.
week. He had 4 interceptions.
I'm going to go immediately. They should. They're not going to.
And reports seem that he might be traded next season. It looks like there's a high demand in him being traded next season. He right now leads the league in interceptions with 13, 6 interceptions in the last 3 games. Hasn't thrown more than 14 interceptions in a season throughout his career. So he's off to a bad start, man. He's off to a bad start.
I got to ask it because you're a Kirk guy, but I got to be honest. You said there's a demand for him to be traded. I got to ask this honestly. Who wants him?
Well, a lot of teams want a team that needs a quarterback. And for some reason, this guy, for so much money he has made, he really has no postseason greatness. You know what I'm saying? He has 1 playoff win. A lot of seasons in which he plays decent, plays well enough to get paid. And he's gotten a lot of money over the course of his career. And does he deserve it? I don't know. I'm kind of on the bricks of that. I love Kirk Cousins. I'm a Washington guy. He got us to points where I thought we wasn't going to get. So, hey, look, he did some things for us. But since he's left us, he's got his bags in places where he shouldn't have maybe got it. Played really well for the Vikings. He had a season where they thought they were going to make a deep playoff push. They end up losing to the Giants. So that's kind of the nameplate for Kirk Cousins, where he, at a certain point, is too much on him. This pressure is too high, and he ends up falling apart in high point situations.
He's an overachieving underachiever.
Exactly.
Underachiever.
And he has been overachieving a lot throughout his. He has been underachieving a lot throughout his career, but overachieving in the amount of money that he's been getting. Where do y'all think the Kirk Cousins will end up next season? It looks like he might be traded. Should he be benched? I'm gonna say yes. He should be benched. You want to see Michael Penix at some point. Your team is now 6-6 after starting great. Y'all started great. Offense wasn't playing that great, so it kind of predictable going down the stretch of what the team actually was going to do down the stretch, and you knew they were going to eventually take a couple losses here and there. Michael Penix, definitely a player that had some games on his belt, made a national championship, did not win that national championship, but definitely played well. Rome Odunze, he's in the league, very good receiver. He played with him. So we want to see the young guy that you drafted. That's the thing. When you end up getting a player like Kirk Cousins, but then you draft a rookie quarterback, that the kind of the environment around that type of situation, you want to see the young guy. We had the urge. You know what I'm saying? You got the itch. You got the little bite of the finger. I want to see what Michael Penix has. We know what Kirk Cousins has. We've seen the years of what Kirk Cousins has done. But Michael Penix, he hasn't got no snaps yet. You feel me? He hasn't got no snaps yet. He might got a little fire up under him that maybe we don't know because he's been on the bench for so long and he probably has an urge to go out there and play well. But then again, you don't want to put a young cat out there in Michael Penix and then he actually fails and he actually starts to throw interceptions and he actually is not that good. And now you're thinking about, man, maybe we don't need any of these quarterbacks, even though we just paid this guy and we just drafted this guy, and maybe none of these quarterbacks are the answer. So you don't want to do that and end up being in a situation where you think you're making the right decision, and the only guy that has made a right decision like that is Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is the only guy that's made a decision like this and bring us Russ off the bench. Yeah. So it's kind of a difficult situation. Like I said, like what Vance said, maybe you think they would, but they probably won't. But it depends, man. 4 interceptions in the last game. You got to do something this upcoming week. We burst them after the bye week. I don't know who they got coming up next. Let me see if I can look that up right quick. Falcons. Who do the Falcons play next? They got the Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins back in Minnesota. That's going to be a rowdy crowd, man. They're going to get things rowdy. You go play the Vikings up next. Y'all tell me what. I think Kirk Cousins might play well against his old team, but his old team is doing very good without him. His old team is doing good without him. So that's another thing you got to put into consideration. How good was the team when Kirk Cousins left there? And how good is the team with Kirk Cousins as the starting quarterback? And right now, the Falcons are 6-6 right now, and they haven't been looking good these past couple weeks. Who knows, man? And they got beat.
Their record's better than I expected it to be.
Yeah, and they played a game to where Kirk Cousins might have could have won that game. The Chargers only won 17-13. They only won 17-13, so that's the game you could have won, Kurt. But you threw 4 interceptions, and that's the reason why they lost that game. And the Chargers moved to 8-4, and that's why the Falcons moved to 6-6. And then before that, you lose to the Broncos 38-6. 38-6. So hey, Vikings coming up next. Y'all tell me where will Kirk Cousins land? Jets could be up for grabs. Raiders up for grabs. Giants maybe. Who knows? I think they'll pick either Shador or Jalen Milroe or one of these kind, Carson Beck. Even though all these guys, all these quarterbacks coming out the draft next year. So Cam Ward, you know what I'm saying? He's a finalist for Heisman Trophy. And as we talk about that, let's get into it. Who do you think should win the Heisman Trophy? The finalists are named Cam Ward, Ashton Genty, Travis Hunter. I'm gonna go with the obvious answer. It should be Travis Hunter all the way, but we can make our case. Vance has a little bit of stats here.
I've been on the Ashton Genty train since day one. They're not where they are without the kid. I'll tell you. Here's a comparison. Yes, one's a running back and one is a receiver / defensive player. But I got some stats for you guys. Rush attempts, Ashton Genty first. Rushing yards first. Yards per attempt tied for third. Yards from scrimmage first. Rushing TDs first. TDs from scrimmage first, total TDs first, total points first, Boise State total offense fourth. Travis Hunter on offense, shall we? Receptions, he's 6th. Receiving yards, he's 14th. Receiving yards per game, he's 14th. Receiving yards per reception, not even in the top 100. Receiving TDs, he's tied for 8th. Interceptions, tied for 29th. Passes defended, tied for 23rd. Colorado team defensive passing, 53rd. Colorado team offense, 56th. So they're not great on offense or defense, but he's going to be the Heisman Trophy. And Ashton Jeanty leads in all but 2 categories of rushing. Ashton Jeanty is the best all-around player, and I just have the stats to back it up. You're a Travis Hunter guy, that's fine, but he's not leading in any category. He's top 5 in the category.
We're gonna argue. We're gonna argue because you're a Jeanty guy. I'm a Travis guy.
Travis Hunter guys.
He played. We gotta think. We gotta think about the amount of snaps he's playing on both sides of the field. This guy doesn't just play offense. We seen Barry in college go crazy. We've seen Adrian Peterson in college go crazy. We've seen Derrick Henry, Heisman Trophy winner, go crazy. So we've seen running backs like this over time.
So if Ashton Jeanty breaks, because Barry Sanders won a Heisman Trophy at Oklahoma State.
He's not breaking Barry's record, but yeah.
If he doesn't win the Heisman, there's going to be a. Do you think you don't think there's going to be a problem with that?
The thing
say he does and doesn't win. You think there's not going to be a problem?
Well, there's not enough games left for him to break the record, but if he did, that would be kind of crazy because Barry had 40 touchdowns, and in a game they didn't count some of his yards. I think it was in like a All-American game or something like that. I forget what it's called, but they didn't even count those yards. But he's not going to break that record. Travis Hunter, he has multiple interceptions. He had what, an interception last game. Should have had 2 pass breakups, over 100 yards. He's going crazy. He's definitely the best wide receiver in football, and he's definitely the best corner in football. So the versatile I got from Travis Hunter is definitely better than a guy that's just playing running back in Power 5. The thing is, the type of school Jeanty has gone to is kind of lacking his push for the Heisman Trophy. Travis Hunter, yes, Colorado isn't that big of a school, that great of a school, but the thing on both sides of the
reason
ball,
Boise State is relevant is because of this kid. Would you give a shit? You know, by the way, you said he's not.
Think about Colorado though. Would anybody care about Colorado if Travis or Shador wasn't there? But we can say Boise because of Jeanty.
You just said he's not going to break the record, right?
I don't think he's going to break the rushing yards record.
He's 300 yards. He's 300 yards away from tying it.
Yeah, but how many games do we have left? How many games does he have left? Because they're not making the playoffs.
They're going to the playoffs. They're ranked 4th right now. They're in the playoffs, dude.
Like I said. But I think it's just like the versatile. We've seen great running backs. We've seen this already. We haven't seen a Travis Hunter. We just haven't.
Boise State's.
We haven't seen this since Dion. We haven't seen this since Charles Woodson. We haven't seen this in 1,000 years. They feel like in football. And this guy, what he's doing, because
the record's 2,000. The record's 2,628. Ashton Jeanty 2,288. So he could break the record. My whole thing is, if he doesn't break the single season rushing record, if he breaks it and doesn't win, there'll be people that, because what was the, I've said this before, and I'm staying consistent. I'm using the same logic I used last time we did this. Joe Burrow broke 2 records: the single season passing record, single season touchdown record. He had 60 touchdowns in the regular season.
Yes, sir. Ran
away with it.
So
my question I have for you is this: why are we now all of a sudden acting like records don't matter? We literally just did hold on. We just did a topic about Mike Evans tying a record. It was your topic.
Jerry Rice's record. Jerry Rice.
Why are we acting like records don't matter? He's going to break a record that's been held for almost 40 years, And we're acting
I still don't think he was going to break that record, but because that's kind of a hard record to get to. But if he does, that would be a great record. But the thing is,
but we're acting like that.
What's going to come into it is the versatileness of Travis Hunter. We don't see guys like this.
I'm not saying he's not versatile. There's no way I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're a records guy. We just talked about it. But we're acting now like a record doesn't matter that stood for almost 40 years. Records,
and let's think about the
records are made to be broken. I get you're a Travis Hunter guy. There's no issue with that. But I'm saying we can't say in one slide it's impressive to break a record. Records are made to be broken, and then Ashton Jenney may do it, but it doesn't mean anything.
This is different. This is the Heisman Trophy. This guy is a finalist for the Blitnikoff. He's a finalist for a lot of awards here, and he's the most versatile player and takes more snaps. Then Gentry doesn't have to play defense. He doesn't have to play line. If Gentry played linebacker and he led the league in tackles and he would have some interceptions, and then he came on the offensive side like Miles Jack, because he played both sides. Miles Jack was a beast, and then he goes out there and then he runs all over the place. And let's look at the matchups that Gentry went against. Yes, he went against Oregon. That's one game. That's a really good team. But this guy, Ashton Gentry, is just a team he's on. Power 5, that's just not going to get you there. I'm sorry. Travis Hunter, he is balling out, and he's a player. And then we got to give him the campaign, though. The way he's campaigning his Heisman run is crazy, too. This man is putting himself out there, and I think it won't even be close. I think Gentry will get some votes, but I don't even think it will be close. I think Travis Hunter runs away with the trophy. Y'all tell me.
I just look at it like this. You've always told me
we can go all day on this topic. We can go all day on this topic.
You look at because you literally just did a slide about a receiver tying the greatest receiver of all time's record, and out of your mouth you said records are made to be broken. But you don't hold this. Hold on. But you don't hold the same logic because he's not your guy.
But Mike Evans,
you're a Travis Hunter fan. I get it, dude.
Yeah,
you got to be consistent. Breaking records that matters.
Look, Mike Evans is not the best wide receiver in the NFL. This is just one record being broken. This is not him being a finalist for Offensive Player of the Year. We're talking about a trophy, Vance. We're not talking about the Heisman Trophy. We're not talking about just a record. Mike Evans, yes, he might get the Jerry Rice record, 11 straight seasons with 1,000 yards, but Mike Evans is nowhere near close to being the Offensive Player of the Year. He's nowhere near close to being the number one receiver in the NFL. Travis Hunter is the number one player in college football. That's what I'm trying to get to you.
But so records don't matter when it's not your guy.
Records matter when it comes down to the award, but records are going to be broken.
So what are we?
Records are going to be broken either way. Records are going to be broken either way, but we're not talking about, just because he breaks a record, that means he can get the trophy. Anybody can break records any day. Anybody can get a break a record and then not be in the MVP conversation. Like we said in the last segment with Mike Evans. Yes, Mike Evans could get the Jerry Rice, tie the record for the most yards, 1,000 yards in each season, but he might not be the best player in football at the wide receiver position. Travis Hunter has been playing.
I'm just saying.
Travis Hunter is the best player on defense and the best player on offense by far. By far. And I don't even think it's going to be close. But we can go all day on this topic. So we're going to move on here just a little bit. Me and Vance, I like that, Vance. We got to keep getting hot on these guys. I like that, Vance. I like that little tenacity out of you, Vance. That's what I'm talking about. That's my boy, Vance. Hey, look, it's going to come down to it. Like I said, y'all tell me Ashton Gentry, Travis Hunter, Cam Ward is in there. You got to try to give him his flowers, but he lost to Syracuse. So
Cam Ward was the early season favorite.
Yeah, he was the early season favorite. You got to give him his flowers here.
No, it's not even that
conversation.
It's not even that. It's not that even he was. It's not even that he was early. The reason he was an early season favorite, you can take a guess, is because he's a quarterback. Quarterbacks are going to be the favorite.
Yeah, exactly. And should Shador be in that conversation or no? I don't think so either.
Here's why.
I don't think so either.
Yes, Travis Hunter.
Deion Sanders wants it to be, but no.
Here's why he's not. Because we both agree on this. He's not even the best player on his own team. How can you win that? How can you be in it and you're not the best? Okay, Jeremiah Smith is the best player on the Ohio State football team. You put him in there, I'm not mad at you. Sanders is not even the best player on his own team. He's not. Yeah. Travis Hunter's better than Shedeur Sanders. How do you put him in the Heisman Trophy debate?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Travis definitely makes Shedeur a little bit better, but Shedeur is definitely a great quarterback and will be either the first or second pick in the draft. Either one. I think Shedeur. This might surprise you. I think Travis should go first, but Shedeur will go first because teams need quarterbacks. That's what it comes down to.
I don't trust. He reminds me of a less talented Lamar. He got embarrassed by Oklahoma. I'm not a Cam Ward guy. Funny enough,
because they just lost to Syracuse.
I like him. I've liked him for a while. I just don't. He gives me too much. He gives me like Baker vibes. Like he's gonna take him a while for him to get going. I don't know what it is. I like.
Yeah.
I do.
He definitely because these quarterbacks in here, Shedeur, Cam Ward, Beck can spin the ball. He can definitely spin it.
He's been getting.
But it just comes down to anticipation.
This isn't outside of Cam Ward, Jalen Milroe, and Shedeur Sanders. It's not a great class. It honestly isn't. I don't mean to be rude.
Yeah.
I have nothing. I don't wish ill will on these guys. The 2018 class is one of the best ever. The 2020 class, one of the best ever. The last year's class, probably going to be one of the best ever. But when you look at Cam Ward, do you see? I'm asking you. Do you see special?
Cam Ward, I would say in spurts. In spurts, I see greatness. But if you're a Heisman Trophy finalist, not a lot of guys win that. Not a lot of guys get to the finalists and be in the consideration of getting that award. It's a long shot at him getting it. I think Genty or Travis will get it. But to be in that conversation is a big accomplishment for the young guy. He's not a bad quarterback. I think one of these top teams will get him, either Raiders, Titans, one of these teams that need a quarterback because Levis is not the guy for the Tennessee. O'Connell's not the guy in the Raiders. The Jets might think about trading something. They got Devontae. They got a lot of players there that they could trade off and maybe move up to get a quarterback and start their franchise over in a good way. Hire a new head coach. So maybe we can see somebody there. But I think Cam Ward gets drafted. Shedeur gets drafted. And Jalen Milroe will get drafted.
Shedeur, obviously, we see a little bit of greatness there. Jalen Milroe's a one guy. He can look really good. He can look really bad.
I think his legs just outshine his arm. I think they really, really, really outshine his arm, and he needs his legs to.
He's a less talented Lamar.
Yeah, arm-wise, yeah. But the thing is, with coaching, that's the thing. That's why there's coaches in the league. That's why there's offensive coordinators in the league. That's why you get better that's why you're young. That's why you come out of college. That's why you get into the NFL and you try to develop.
Underrated quarterback, in my opinion. I've watched him play a couple times because he's in the Big Ten. Where do you stand on Dylan Gabriel? Oregon kid. I think he's
is he coming out? Is he coming out?
He is. The one problem is he's 5'9".
Ooh. That might get him right there.
Here's
but his team is undefeated. His team is undefeated.
Yeah, that's what to say. The reason he'll get signed, his team's undefeated and they're ranked number 1.
Yeah. Oregon definitely doing their thing. Oregon's definitely doing their thing out there.
So what do you think about him? I'm asking you, where do you stand on Dylan Gabriel?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a guy who watches a lot of Oregon games, so I would have to go back and watch the highlight. But if his team is 8, what are they undefeated?
11-0,
then he has to be in consideration of one of the best quarterbacks in college football. Oregon is definitely at a spot they haven't been at before in a long time.
It says he's 6 foot 200. He's more like 5'10".
Yeah.
Where do you?
Very skinny guy.
200 pounds. Yeah.
he definitely has arm talent, definitely has anticipation, definitely can read a defense. If he couldn't read a defense, he wouldn't be undefeated. Yes, defenses, offensive line, running back, they all come into that point, coaching wise too, and NIL wise as well. You need money to pay talented guys.
And Phil Knight went to Oregon. And those don't know who Phil Knight is. Created Nike. Went to Oregon, so they have all the money in the world.
Yeah. So he definitely the talent wise and the way they're spending money on these top talents is the reason why they're in a position now, and they might and are maybe the favorite to win the national championship.
They are the favorite. They should be.
Yeah, for sure. 5 minutes left here. A lot going on in this stream. Y'all just coming in the chat. Y'all just watching in. Who will win the Heisman Trophy? Jameis Winston, a really great quarterback, but at the same time, a really bad quarterback. Three interceptions, 4 touchdowns, and that one. Shahir's suspended 3 games. Yeah, suspended 3 games. Well, let's go through the PowerPoint right fast. Let's go through the PowerPoint right fast so people know what we were talking about earlier in the joint. But yeah, y'all tell me who y'all want to win the Heisman. 3 finalists: Genty, Travis Hunter, Cam Ward, Shaq, and Gronk talking about fighting on Netflix.
Really don't.
He wants $12 million. Y'all tell me if y'all want Gronk and Shaq to fight. I don't want to see it after Mike Tyson. I don't want to see that. Suspensions going out. They don't want hits like this. Fans are definitely into it, throwing stuff at him. It's kind of uncalled for, but he took an uncalled for hit, so a lot of stuff went at him, and eventually this stuff will blow over. Y'all tell me where the Jags will go for this. Some of the highlights from the game here. Bo Nix, will he win Offensive Rookie of the Year? Him and Jaden Daniels are looking to be the finalists for that trophy. Jerry Jeudy back home, goes for almost 300 yards in the game. He leads the league in receiving yards as of now. If you don't know that fact, Jameis Winston still the same old Jameis Winston, and the Broncos now moved to 8-5 and are looking for a playoff push into the bye. If you stayed here in the chat for the whole live stream, shout out to you. We will be back on after Thursday. That's prime time. Who do we got on Thursday? Vance, phone's dead.
We have, I got it pulled up right here. We have on Thursday. I got it right here.
Then we got some college football Saturday and Sunday.
Packers at Lions.
Packers at Lions. That's a really good game. We'll be locked into that, and we will be back on here. Might be on early. Got to go in to work early. That's why we started early today. Usually we're on at 7 p.m. Yep. But if we're not on at 7 p.m., we might be on it just maybe a tad bit earlier, around 4 or 5. Who knows about that? But we'll keep you updated. Shout out to everybody that stayed, like I said, that watched, stayed in the chat, that commented. Thank y'all. You know what it is, Vance. God bless, baby. God bless. Shout out to everybody in the chat, y'all. Shout out to everybody. That does it for us here on Inside the Lines. Yes, like I said, we'll be back on 7 p.m. on Friday. So after the game, the next day, we will be on. We talk about these primetime games. If you haven't checked on stuff in the trivia, I got some stuff at the stadiums. We do trivia at the stadiums. We do fan interactions. We do some craziness and some crazy stuff going on in the channel. Y'all go check out the channel. Y'all hit that subscribe button for y'all boys. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. I'll see y'all soon. Peace out.